it seems like as everybody says this, but as you get older, my God, dude, we're halfway through this year.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's just, time is just, when I was a kid, summer would come, I felt like it lasted 20 years. Now 20 years feels like it lasted 20 minutes.
Remember when you were waiting for Christmas or whatever, when you were 12 years old, 10 years old? It was forever.
Wow.
Like between Thanksgiving and Christmas was 2 years.
Yeah, dude, Halloween to Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, Halloween's pretty much November 1st.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
so,
exactly.
You know, it's like gone, dude.
Wow.
And how great was Halloween when we were kids? Like, you get to go through the neighborhood carrying your bag.
Oh yeah,
Everybody looked out for it.
We looked forward to it, and we played it. We had like 2 masks. We would keep a mask in our pocket, and then we had a mask on our face, and we would go to a house, get the candy, go out to the end of the driveway, flip masks, go back to the house, get some more candy, and then go to the next house. We were doubling up on it. I mean, we were making it efficient as hell.
That's the next Tarantino movie.
You remember when we were kids, I don't know if you heard this urban legend in New York or where you're originally from, but the urban legend down here was, check your candy, they're going to put razor blades in it. Did you ever hear that story?
Yeah, exactly.
Pins, needles, razor blades.
And to my knowledge, in the history of Halloween, there's never been a kid who bit into a razor blade. I don't know where that came from.
Where did they come from?
I have no idea.
Like, you know, you were told to fear a quicksand.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to die in quicksand.
Yeah, I remember
where the hell?
that.
Where was quicksand? When were you ever going to fall in quicksand?
Never.
Great callback. Dude, I remember that.
Yeah.
Why? There was no quicksand.
Where was the quicksand? I mean,
what the hell was that from?
I mean, it doesn't happen today. I mean, I was like, who's falling in quicksand? And
Was
where,
that like on
where
a
is
Brady Bunch
quicksand?
episode
It
or
must have
something?
been or something. I mean, seriously, because I don't know where it even exists naturally. You know,
Yeah, where
I'm
does-
out in the woods all the
where-
time. I've never fell in quicksand.
Where does quicksand come from?
And how quick is it? I mean, is it quick? You know, I mean, these days it better be pretty damn quick because we got a short attention
That used
span.
to be a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't. It's nature. Didn't just go away. Well, where is it? Where is all the quicksand?
It was a thing that was utilized so much in video games, like your character would get stuck in quicksand, or the movies or whatever. But in real life, not saying it's not out there, or people have fallen a victim to it, but I've never encountered quicksand in my
Oh,
life.
it sounds scary.
I
as
haven't.
hell, but,
I haven't seen it on the news
Yeah.
lately, or the last
Well,
10
you would
years.
think it would be on CNN or something. If somebody fell in quicksand, it would be somewhere on social media.
That's one thing you never see in the news, right? Breaking
Right.
news:
Right.
3 kids
I'm
just
gonna have to
died
Google
in
it now.
quicksand.
When's the last person that died from quicksand? Does
But
it
here's
not
also
exist
another
anymore?
thing. You cannot lie to me and tell me you have not thought about what you would do to escape the quicksand.
Oh yeah, I'd grab a vine.
Vine. Yeah,
I would
that was
absolutely
always
grab
mine.
a vine.
That was always mine.
But I mean, if you think about the mechanics of it, it's scary as shit.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
you're sinking, and then all of a sudden you can't breathe.
You're done. You can't move.
Yeah.
But is it real? Does it really take people out? That's the question.
I mean, obviously, who came up with the concept of quicksand?
Were we made to be afraid of it like we were Halloween candy?
That's
You know,
right.
or
I remember
Exactly.
in Blazing Saddles. That's like the first time the first and last time I've seen quicksand was in Blazing Saddles, where they had the
No, you're
train.
right.
The
You're
train
right.
tracks were going through the quicksand,
You're right.
and they had to pull out the cart.
Let's get started. Many fear quicksand, which is unsurprising.
Blazing Saddles.
See?
The vine. He's
That's
got the
scary
vine.
as shit.
Unfortunately, the person's struggles only hasten their demise, and before long, the
There you
person has
go.
completely
That is
disappeared.
scary as fuck right
That
there.
is it.
Princess
what's in
Bride
our
to
head.
Lawrence of Arabia,
Yeah.
quicksand has been depicted as one of the deadliest things on earth. But is it really that dangerous? More importantly, what is it even made out of?
The dog's dying.
Fine granular material such as sand, silt, or clay
my
that has
God.
become saturated with water, which is why this
Like memory
is found
foam.
in places like river deltas. This also means that while it looks solid, it actually behaves like a liquid and thus is unable to support something of great mass. be
That's it right there. You're done, dude. You are done.
Right. That's my worst nightmare of quicksand.
Oh
an
yeah.
unfortunate soul who accidentally stepped on it, causing them to sink. which means that the
So
torso
I can
won't be
literally
stimulated
check
at
that
all.
off my list of things to be afraid of.
An experiment conducted by
Yeah.
a researcher from
Next
the
time you're out there
University of Amsterdam.
digging in those gaping holes in the mountains.
The main use of aluminum beads
Quicksand's not gonna be one of my
as densely
fears.
as the average human being.
Look at that bitch.
After placing them in a small sample of quicksand and shaking them about to mimic a
But how do you
human
get out
shape,
even there?
we found that they
At that
only
point, how do you
sink
get out?
halfway.
Well, you got to have Indiana Jones throw you the whip.
Quicksand separates when stepped
That right there.
Yeah, that's
oh
what
my
I thought
God.
it was.
My foot is on the rail.
Isn't deadly. What makes it dangerous, though, is the fact that it can trap people, dooming them to be swept away by a high tide if they're unable to free themselves quickly enough.
Jesus Christ.
I feel like it left us with more questions than we had before.
Oh no! I think I'm
die.
afraid of it again now.
Well, I think if you're in it, it's like concrete in the water. If you're in it when the tide's
Water's
coming in,
coming.
you're pretty much screwed.
That's almost like a creep show episode. Though.
But if
I
you're
mean,
The
if you're in
raft.
the
Yeah, you remember the raft?
yeah,
if you're in the jungle, I guess watch where you step. But
I don't know. But I mean, when you're in the jungle, you just grab a vine. I mean, there are vines everywhere. Grab a tiger's tail.
sure,
a
everyone knows how to
lion's tail,
swing
or
on a
whatever.
vine,
Right.
Till that shit snaps.
When I was a kid, I legit would see a mud puddle and obviously go around it. But
See?
part of my reasoning to go around it was just in case it was quicksand.
Yeah, because you never know.
Never
Well,
knew.
I mean, look at the propaganda. They got Batman and Robin going down in quicksand.
That's traumatizing for a 7-year-old.
Sure.
You know, you're
Exactly.
like, oh God, I'm losing my heroes to quicksand.
But the thing is, it sticks with you as an adult. You're still concerned about quicksand.
we're trauma bonded with quicksand, I feel, because I was the same way until recently. I believed that quicksand could take you out. If
Yeah.
you were in the jungle, it was
Well, yeah,
over.
but even if you thought that as an adult, where would you find it?
In
know
a
what?
bag at Lowe's. I mean, quicksand. I mean, you just buy 8 bags of it.
How is that not a carnival game? Get out of quicksand and win a bear or something. You know,
Dude,
like,
I can't even climb on those the
ladders?
the ladder,
Yeah,
the rope ladder.
the rope ladder. No,
How am I gonna get out of quicksand?
there's a great carny who came out and did a podcast about how they got away with all their games and how they cheated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I felt so cheated. As I was like, I spent $20 when I was a kid trying to win that thing, and it was rigged the whole time. When you were a kid, did you go to the carnival?
Fuck yeah, dude. Love the carnival.
What about you, Brady?
Absolutely. And I did the Cleveland County Fair in Shelby every year, and I hate that it's changed, actually, because you could actually see a bearded woman, and you could actually see the giant rats from Paris,
Yes.
which were actually some other mammal
Right.
that looked like a rat, but still, it was fun.
Did you guys notice that most of the prizes at these carnivals
Yeah.
was drug paraphernalia? You either got the mirror that you could put Coke on,
The Coke mirror?
you got the feather with the joint clip on it.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're a kid. You're like, I got
don't
this
know
feather.
that, right? You
No.
don't know that.
Oh,
then.
that's funny.
I got this Motley Crue mirror. This is awesome. But
I got the
I'm
Van Halen mirror. Dude, I had the Van Halen mirror, the Motley Crue mirror.
Oh God! I must have been nerdy as hell because I was over there trying to win goldfish. I was like throwing ping pong balls trying to win
Yeah,
goldfish.
but look at
and you guys are doing roach clips
You're doing,
and stuff.
but look at as you grew older, you got the koi ponds. You've got Leon. You got Leon in the tank.
yeah,
It's all making sense. I
we
don't
were
know.
over
won.
there.
You won, Brady.
I didn't get a roach clip. I got some goldfish,
Dude, if you had
but I
gone
never
there
got a roach
today,
clip.
like if YouTube was around when you were a kid, you would have been there, and your video would have been saving a carnival goldfish.
Oh, that's a hell of a time. That's what I'm gonna do next because the Cleveland County Fair is still on.
You
Oh
know,
my God!
the redneck engineering of making games impossible so they can make money got me. Other than throwing a dart and hitting a poster
Yeah.
for $1.
hitting a balloon.
Or hitting, maybe,
Yeah.
but here's the thing: they would deflate the balloons just enough to where your dart would bounce off.
Bounce off.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sure.
Here's the game that got me was the cover we were talking about earlier. The cover the dot with 5 things, and I didn't know at the time that the one they showed you on was small enough to cover it, but the one you did it on, it was impossible to cover it. So these rednecks had their shit down. They knew that they had their gangster science down, like the throw the ball in the barrel thing and the
Yeah.
throw the darts at the balloons. They would deflate the balloons. In the
Wow.
goldfish game, I think I won a goldfish that died before I left the fair. It's just like,
and think about this: the mentality that you had as the patron that was there.
Yeah.
And you're probably there either with your friends or you're there with your girlfriend, and you're gonna prove a point. Oh, I can pop that balloon. I can cover the dot. Oh, I can throw the ring on the post. They knew that. They knew that your ego was going to make you try it again and again.
And you're going to stay there.
And what are you going to win?
Right.
It's this. Even the stuffed animals were made out of concrete. Those things were hard as hell. They weren't, soft. Or you get a Coke mirror with a Van Halen logo.
I will say I still got my Motley Crue Coke mirror at home. I don't have my joint feather anymore. As a kid, those are some of your best memories, though. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Getting on rides that you're literally risking your life on that are held up by cinder blocks and plywood, like the tilt-a-whirls and stuff like that. And then,
it's literally a traveling gypsy circus.
Oh yeah, and you remember the basketball goal thing when you're shooting at, we've done that. We've all been playing basketball pretty much all our lives, and like all of a sudden you can't hit a basketball from 10 feet away, but you don't realize you can't look at the goal for the basketball goal from the side because it's oval. It's not round. It's an oval shaped, and the ball will barely go in there at all anyway.
We think the carnies are the idiots, but they're playing us the entire time.
Absolutely.
They're playing us. They had it. They had the scheme down.
Absolutely.
And they make those ones look like the easiest.
Yeah.
Then you go to the one where it's like, oh yeah, just throw this ping pong ball into the fishing bowl.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's easy. Never gonna fucking happen.
No. Well, what about the rat where they release the rat and you put your quarters down and they release the rat and it goes into a hole? Is it going into a hole that they've put a peanut underneath or
you never know.
Well, that's
what I would say is I've never been to a carnival that had a live rat anywhere.
You need to go to Cleveland County Fair then. Definitely.
Back in Rock Hill in the 80s, there was a rat game. But you also know that carnies used to send their girlfriends or wives or kids around holding the biggest prize, so people would walk by and be like, I want to win that Mario Brother.
Oh yeah, and like
it
you
would just
said,
be the gig.
When you're a guy with your girlfriend, and she says, "I want that," you're like, "Well, I've got to win that."
So not only are they scientific, not only they're engineers, not only do they understand, the ego of a person, they are like a psychology. They understand the psychology of.
But tell me if this is part of the psychology, were they genius enough to let their teeth go rotten at the same time? Because you look at them and you go, "Oh, I can outwit this motherfucker. I got this guy on that."
Unless those part of the gig? Unless those were veneers they put in, maybe they were just.
Was that part of like, "Oh shucks, I'm a dummy. You can totally win this game."
Dude, I bet you when the carnival goes down, they all leave. They're like, all right, great. Pop them out. They got the fucking...
They take their shirt off, their Motley Crue shirt off and everything.
Oh my God. They're getting in fucking... they're getting in Ferraris and Lambos. And
You're making me think of the movie Two Moon Junction right now. Have you guys seen that before?
No, I've never saw that.
It's a 90s movie. Oh my God.
I think we've cracked the code.
The carnies outsmarted us. I don't care what anybody says. The carnies won the game.
Yeah, remember Joe Dirt, the movie Joe Dirt, when he was a carny in there? Yeah. That was a ripoff of Two Moon Junction, where he's got his little pubic hair coming up his jeans and stuff. It was a ripoff of Two Moon Junction, and it's hilarious, the friggin' comparison.
Do you notice, though, that carnivals like that, like what we're talking about, have become extinct? They used to come every October to Rock Hill and the fairground. We called it the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
And I would go.
But it was really the Walmart parking lot.
No, it was the Winthrop parking lot where.
Oh, okay.
But the college parking lot. And the thing is the rides were, looking back on it, if I had to pinpoint where I risked my human life the most, one of them would be carny rides.
Oh, damn.
There were carny rides that I rode. I'm like, this thing is done.
Dude. The Carnival Tilt-A-Whirl was it. Here's the Two Moon Junction here.
It's what's her name from Twin Peaks. This guy. See, that is a total. That's where
she wants the bad boy.
Yeah, and that is Joe Dirt's character is totally after this guy.
But you gotta think the life of a carny.
Oh man, that's a good lifespan of a carny, or
No, the life of a carny.
Oh, the life of a carny.
They
Like-
would get to town. They set up all their shit half-assed, whatever. They would
yeah.
buy duct tape or whatever, then go drink, stay in their trailer, run their games.
You know, the life of a carnival worker keeps me free and untethered.
I know. That's why I was immediately attracted to you.
That's what
Go
I'm saying.
drink, run a trailer.
Lifespan is probably about 34 years then.
I would say that's elderly age in the carny's life.